Hello, Shayla. This is Crystal.
Yeah, hello.
I was just looking at the pictures that some of the pictures that Iveta has drawn. I think they're wonderful um, and very friendly and warm, and I really appreciate them. I think they're awesome. And I communication with her is really amazing and really drawing for us. It's like a gift for us. Um, And I wanted to ask regarding your thoughts, or if you see the future for us? Do you see our future here in this realm? Is it relevant to you? Is it relevant to us? What you see?
Yes, before I start to talk about, probabilities, yeah, yes, she feels that, I mean, Iveta, uh, this is hard to explain. So there will be a little bit of still letting go of uh, discomfort of talking in this way, but yeah, I was feeling to express also that it's very. I also enjoyed connecting with her for those portraits that we are drawing together, and yeah, it's sometimes difficult for her to trust. I Iveta, I mean, I am feeling emotions and feel like crying. That means that I am really switching into her,
Hmm.
and it's not just my reaction to her energy. It's not that she would be crying just touching me. The emotions, because now this is Shayla. It's because she has still a lot of doubts.
It's okay.
Yeah, so that's the reason it's flushing this energy out of. This energy is flushing these feelings out of her. So just
Yeah.
process of relaxing and letting go. So I personally also appreciate what she's doing, and
Yeah.
very grateful that we can still link more and co-create with our connection in many ways, also different than just drawing. Yeah, so now the future of the humanity. Yes, there is. If I can see it in a way, I can perceive it. Perceive the parallel realities or uh, probabilities. Not that I would see into those parallel realities, but still I can see and perceive more than you are able. But you all are opening for feeling into future, and that's the same way that we are feeling, but maybe we feel much more details and more pathways. Maybe, for example, you are depends on your state of being that you can tap into different probabilities in the moment when you, for example, switch into the better vibes for you, then you can feel it's this precognitive ability that you can feel a certain probabilities that is best for you, and you are viewing your probabilities from your point of view.
Hmm.
So they are for you. So this is also for help for you to aim yourself in how you would like to shift, and even when seemingly you sometimes can feel like you don't feel the best, it's still, if you are in a flow, and that is natural consequence of also letting go and transforming. It doesn't mean that you are not in a best flow for you. So you can also see probabilities, but sometimes when you, for example, uh, are in some emotions, then that is important for you to feel more into them and into the now than looking into the future, trying to look there and look from the now, because when you are transforming, you need to look more into now. And this may sound that I'm going off tangent, but I feel that this is also important to tell you. And so I also can feel into a future mostly from my own point of view, and in a more broader way, for example, for general probabilities. I can also tune into those, and in a way that I also need to go into different state of being, like what you might call meditation. But for me, it's not the completely the same as for you, the meditation, but it's very similar. Or the faster maybe switching into those states of being, but for more precise feeling into your future as a collective, it's also better for us to use some devices we have and to count those probabilities and so on. So I personally can see that we are switching into or aiming to very great and fabulous future also for us and for you. And as you know, there are many different pathways. So if you are talking to me right now, you are connecting to the best possible future for also us and for humanity. And there are also other probabilities that other people are choosing, and that go in a different ways and less positive, or there are also many types of open contacts that can occur, or how it would be after the open contact. That sometimes there are probabilities when things wouldn't be that easy also after the contact, when dealing with the extraterrestrials. There could be more confusion involved, and just because of not understanding each other enough, or the energies would be not that compatible that they can be in other parallel realities. So this is I am telling this for you to understand that there is not just one parallel reality, or just one future of the humanity. So you are choosing by following your best flow. For example, when some challenges are presenting to you, for example, with your health or grounding or work, and everything what you do for yourself is what you are creating for yourself also for future, and that is also changing your own reality, but also helps the humanity and the other people that are connecting and resonating also with the way you are creating your reality. That more of those people that are working in a similar way will join, and that is kind of like a sub-collective that will move into the resonance of the future reality. And now this is it. I started to also pick up something about splitting, for example, that reality, that if people, this was also what I wanted to explore, like if there will be, for example, less people, in some realities, and some people will really choose something else, or we would, create the other versions of those people that are still on Earth, and just be more reflection to us. So this is something that I am also not sure, but yeah, I will play with this and we'll see what will come through. Yeah, so
Okay.
okay, so now I'm switching again to Shayla, if I can.
Yes.
Yes. So,
Is it Shayla? Is it you that's connecting with me now, or is it like just the collaborative energy, actually that started even before our call?
yeah, I'm feeling that yes, it was me, Shayla, and also kind of yes, it was me preparing you a little bit for a call and giving you my compassion and support. And also, I was expressing my joy that we can talk again and share energies because you are also sharing energy with me,
Yeah, it was very strong.
and I
I
also
mean,
enjoy it.
yeah, me too.
And yeah, it also always when you allow yourself to open and feel those energies, it's not just me that is there for you, but you can also other times feel also your own guidance and your guides and so on if you would also more open to them to feel them because they are always helping or willing to share much more or energy with you. It's just that you need to uh, trust or believe, or not believe, but already know that they are really always with you and that you really have that help all the time. And so those energies and supportive and compassion energies are always for you to experience them. Yes, so uh, yes, then I also wanted to tell you that when you opened to me, you also felt more of them, so it was not just me.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
Yeah, that's why this is again me. If at time I almost said Shayla. Well, that she talks a lot, and I feel that when I am describing or talking a lot about something, it's kind of like preparing you for like a punchline. Because I feel kind of like into like where she's aiming and why she want to say something, so that's why I'm allowing it. And for example, now I feel also kind of like a little bit restless in my body and shaky, and it's interesting that's in a belly kind of like, but I feel these are those.
My energies, maybe?
Yes, of course, this, yes, I wanted to say that these are higher energies that I'm receiving, and it's because I'm not completely relaxed, but it's just my inner resistance in the energy field that I'm shedding away. So I am in a way relaxing as much as I can. I'm feeling into my body.
Yeah, I have lots.
And this is yes, and this is natural, the way to feel. And
Hmm.
afterwards, I believe this energy will shift me or change me somehow when we finish the call. But I feel really calm, and I still feel that Sheila is connecting, and she's just, waiting or feeling. She's not really waiting. She's, kind of like I feel her in a moment, like a mindful moment, just also feeling into my words, like what
Hmm.
I am saying. She's also enjoying that, and she's very calm and uh, in yeah, peaceful is the good way,
Yeah.
because we are also sharing the energy in a little bit different way than other times,
Hmm.
and she is also helping me in an energetic way. But yes, I am happy too, and I mean, this is also Shayla again, and I'm also
Hmm.
happy that or we are happy that you also feel those energies. And do you feel still some energies as we talk? And
Oh, yeah. No, I do. I have this since even before the conversation. started probably, I don't know, 5 minutes before we started or something. It was very apparent to me, and then it's carried throughout the whole thing. It's like I keep my eyes closed because my whole face, but especially, I could just feel this. It's really strong, but not in a bad way. It's just this.
Yes.
Normally, when I feel connection with somebody, it seems to come in different ways for me, which is fine. I just can feel a change, or sometimes I feel it on my ear, sometimes I feel it on my head. With you, I seem to feel it more in my face.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah,
We are having also open eyes right now.
yeah,
And I'm in Iveta right now. That I was staring into one point, and I had a relaxed stare there, so I was not really focusing and really feeling into the calm emotions that I was when I was talking. But yeah, I feel that I want to continue with the channeling, not chatting around this. So yeah, what we are both, I feel, excited to continue answering the question and concreting. So yeah.
okay. Okay, so I wanted to ask regarding do you see full disclosure and how that will come about and how we can assist with that? And it seems like it's relevant and it seems like it would be a positive thing for us. I don't understand the reason for it not being made, aware to everyone. Do you see anything with that?
Yes, because full disclosure is not just about USA and America, you know.
Yeah.
And people in USA are much more open right now to it, but full disclosure means that this would go also into other parts of the world. Uh, Europe is also open, and also, yeah, I'm feeling that also other parts of the world. That's why it's getting so close to it. But there are still parts, but they are much smaller in a energetic sense, in a world that there where are still energies that if this would happen, it would too much still right now create more resistance and more confusion, or it's not just about the fact itself or so, but it would ripple through whole world, and it would start to change energies a lot when this would be really put out as a fact, and you yourself would be creating new state of mind and state of being, whole being, emotions, and so on. And it would be very high in those parts where people are open to it. Although sometimes people may think they are open to it or prepared. I mean, rather prepared. They're open, but not always fully prepared. It would be very challenging still for many people, because some would get really excited, and you are all very connected, and this would ripple into your whole collective consciousness. So in those parts where there are still things that need to be solved, not really connected to ETs or something like that, but in some parts there are still like concentrated points of the energy that there would happen something not that pleasant, and it's not that that would somehow cause your collective consciousness to fall apart, or I mean the future, that it would not be uh, then aiming to first contact and so on. It's not about that, but it's your own compassion towards yourself and the other people in your world. that you don't want in those parts to create that strong reactions, negative reactions for people, because sometimes when you are focused more on yourself, in your nature you are still very compassionate everybody, in your most balanced way, in your true self you are all very compassionate also towards other people. And if some, even just a minority in people, would need to suffer too much because of full disclosure, the collective consciousness don't want to choose it. So there will be still some shifts in those parts and resolutions that would make them more prepared for full disclosure. So it's coming.
Have we sort of accelerated a little because of all the people that do are open? Does that make sense? Like, have we, maybe it's just this timeline that we're on now, or this reality that we're, I mean, is it a little bit more accelerated than it used to be because of, I mean, I just feel that
Yeah.
people, the, the amount of people that have put a lot of energy into um, believing and trying to do good for humanity and humanity of all, not just of Earth. And I mean, not trying to minimize Earth and all of the beings here, but I think that there's a lot of people that have put a lot of effort into a positive environmental flow. So it seems kind of in a way like maybe, I don't know, have we accelerated it some or just switched timelines a little?
His reaction was, "Oh my goodness!" Of course, that you are accelerating and that you are accelerating all the time. But yes, there were quite a big shifts, but they were also expected. So, of course, you can feel it also in your personal life, that things and energies are accelerating. You can feel it on yourself, and what is kind of like asks for you to, do for yourself personally, that reflects the collective. And so of course it was shifting. But yeah, the word effort, when, as you were talking about, that many people put efforts into changing, well, it's just that I would like to talk about effort. That's the best way to really do, just for also personally, for everybody, not just for you or those who would like to change something, is ready to do it in a way that it doesn't seem as an effort, and
Yeah,
following the highest excitement, that it's something you enjoy. But of course there can be resistances, and sometimes, for example, what comes to my mind is when people feel it like it's effort, that it may be because they are sometimes, have some beliefs and self-worth issues, so that they are then kind of like a shouting for themselves, like how much they are doing. But this is getting back to them in their state of being, that there is some resistance, and that creates a little bit of effort for them to, although they are also following their really the best path they can. So there is always like advice, that's, or not just advice, but that's what we really wish to all of you feel, is how you are worthy of being here, and that everybody is grateful and appreciates that what you have chosen. I mean, each of you chosen to follow and choose that. That's why you are so worthy, and you are supposed to do it. So all the work, even in on yourself, is very worthy. So let's judge yourself and criticize yourself sometimes, that you are not doing maybe the best you could or so. But it's a process, and sometimes when you feel, for example, that you are not doing the best, it's just probabilities for you to feel into where you can shift. It's not that you need to always be in that state of being now when you are feeling kind of like where you can shift. It's not that when you feel the probability or the possibility of being in a better state of being, it doesn't mean that there are some judgments or that you should feel less worthy that you are not already this. It's just something that is showing you that you could create for yourself. So less judgments that many people would need to feel.
Yeah.
Yes, so what did you want to ask or add?
Um, oh, I was gonna say, I think this is so cool, first of all. Second of all, I have your Facebook page, the Shayla of the
Mhm.
Yahyel up, so, and I can feel the energy with all the pictures.
Mm.
It's pretty amazing, and I was just thinking, wow, this is just so cool.
Yes, that's great that you feel from everything because not everybody can feel from each of those pictures. So obviously, those energies
Yeah,
are for you to pick up. So when you feel those energies, let them in until you don't feel them. So then you
right,
had
right.
all the energy that is there, or you could pick up through connecting to through those pictures in that moment. So when you stop feeling it, you can then continue your life with those new energies, and they can help you in some ways, not in mental ways that you would know how to use them or so, but they will just somehow get into your field and integrate, and you would use them. So when you feel some energies that there are specifically for you, because you are also receiving through those energies and through the our reflections more of yourself. So this is also permission slip to find your or tune more into your uh, true self, or more of your true nature.
Yeah, that's interesting. I kind of look at life that way, that we all move along at sort of a tune or a wave, and so that's why if you're flowing in that, with each interaction you have, sometimes something may feel like it flows well, and then sometimes it may repel because you're flowing kind of like a wave in the ocean, or but at a specific the way it's supposed to, and so go with the energies when it's there, and go away from the energies when they don't feel like it's a good blending. I don't know. So that's kind of like a confirmation for me.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Well, but this depends in a more general way. Sometimes people are avoiding also something they can explore. That when something, for example, doesn't feel good, but it's
Mhm.
triggering something in them. There is
Yeah,
yes,
there's a
there
difference.
that is
Yeah.
time when it could be beneficial for them to look into it. So when there
Right.
is, yes, this is also what Bashar says, like to be honest with yourself, that if you are really avoiding, for example, or not avoiding, and really feeling that this is not the resonance you want to create. So also for you as a humans is because this is also what you are discussing and trying to do. Bashar is also many times discussing it, that it's about balance of the heart and mind. It's not just about feeling and being heart-centered. It's more about being heart-centered and balanced with the mind. And that's why important is to work with your beliefs and how you would like to experience life, and see the world in a most easier way, or when you would feel in the most ease, so striving there, and then your mind would be more balanced and more open, relaxed, and then it would create more balance between heart and mind. So it's not just also feeling, and when there is some trigger and you have some thought coming from it, there is somehow showing you what belief you can have around it. As always, there are some beliefs. You are working always from some beliefs, because that is nature of your existence, and or even our existence. There are always beliefs, or it's kind of like how we are set to experience our physical experience. But there is difference between the beliefs that are really what you want and those you don't want. So yeah, relaxing those that you really don't want, and from those you are learning, and those you are transforming, and they are there for you to learn something about yourself and to transform them also for your collective, but those transformations go into a whole universe or multiverse, and helping also other people and beings outside. So it's not just for you. And so when you are transforming those beliefs, then you can. I just lost what I wanted to say. I was somehow turning in or cycling in something, and I lost that punchline.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I ask something personal?
Yes, of course.
Like, I had an experience probably, I don't know, 2, 3 years ago. I think I told Iveta about it. I'm not sure. I think I did though, where I was doing a meditation and I basically like met my hybrid kids. I believe that's who they were. That was just a part of it. And I'm just wondering if are you able to see or know or communicate with them? Was that who I met?
Could you please tell more about the experience, how it unfolded?
I was with friends and we decided to listen to a Brian Weiss regression audio thing, and so I relaxed and was listening to it, and I can't remember the very beginning part, but then I was like pulled into this area where I was like on a ship or something, and when it opened, here was all these little people that were just overjoyed to see me. They were blue,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't know whatever, but I felt over like a. They didn't say anything to me, but they were just super happy to see me,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and I mean, like super happy to see me. And there was probably five, six, maybe seven. And then from there, I went into like a room that was like, I would describe it as like something from like a Roman temple or something. And I was alone in there and I was like in robes, but I was sort of kneeling down, and then somebody came, a light came down from the sky, well, from the top, and it was like a fairy, what I would call like an angel or fairy type, like a very bright somebody, like kind of like from the Wizard of Oz when the good fairy comes in. It was kind of like that. And
Mm-hmm.
she just really showed me telepathically how to move my head into my heart, basically. And it was like something that stuck with me, and now I can see that I use it all the time for that, to assist me with that.
Mm-hmm.
And that was pretty much the end of that experience.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. That moving your head into heart is that's a balancing act of balancing heart and mind. That's great that you have your personal permission slip that is suited perfectly for you.
Hmm.
And yes, I was laughing when you were talking about those kids. Yes, you had the experience to expand your own consciousness, and actually you appeared in some group of the children. You just popped up there, and they were surprised, but they knew you, and maybe some knew you less than more, most, and so you just appeared in middle of the kind of like a class, or not a really class, or just yeah, I'm not sure right now what the maybe
Like,
this was not
hello.
important, but yes, you really made that connection in that moment with the kids, and that's why they were
Mhm.
surprised and seeing human and feeling human. So it was
Mhm.
in a way like a astral projection, but not that you would leave
Mm.
also your body, but you kind of like a projected and became aware of that you were there, you extended. So your state of being and somehow extended that excitement to visit them. So they were also able to perceive your physical body, but not I mean your physical representation. Yes, that's more correct. Not physical body, your physical representation, and mostly your energy.
Mhm.
And your energy felt very nice to them, and joyous and happy. So they were really excited to see out of the blue some human there in the middle of their game or what they were doing. So
Mhm.
so your questions was a question were also aiming to if those were your hybrid kids particularly.
Uh-huh.
Uh, uh, wait, I'm not sure if I am resisting or this information is not coming in, so give me a few moments. I'm not sure that if you are involved in a hybridization program in a way that you would be a hybrid mother. I'm not sure, but take me with a grain of salt, of course, about this. But
Mhm.
you are involved in a way that you are connected, maybe as a teacher, or yeah, okay, I feel that you were involved, that you were sometimes taken also physically or energetically to spend time with the kids to provide them teaching through just being yourself and being human. So they were learning by just observing and being with you, like who you are, how you are. So and also enjoying your warmth, feminine energies and closeness with you. So you were kind of like a stepmother for them or so. Yeah.
I like that. You know, the other thing is, I would say sort of recently, within like a month or so, I've realized that a lot of things I experienced as trauma in my life were probably other people's, meaning, and maybe other other people from other places as well, that my empathy or my empathetic nature picked up a lot of things that I took on as my own and I suffered from. Well, I can't say I suffered. I mean, in my perception at the time, it was
Mm-hmm.
suffering because I really felt so much pain at so many things. But I just realized that a lot of them were not my own. They were other people's.
Yes, it's about it, those first moments when you are opening the energy field in this four density experience that it's shocking, and you because it was new experience, you didn't know how to work with it and handle it, and that's why it's important to become more of your true self and remove the beliefs you have and resistances and so on, because they are kind of like a cloaking the parts of you from expressing and shining out. So important is to really relax, and when you relax, relaxing is kind of like expanding, so there will be more of your light and it would be stronger, and in comfortable, natural way, so you don't really need to push your energy out. It would be very natural. And when you would ground more of your kind of like a soul or higher self into the body, then that what is helping to balance those energies and feel them less challenging than before. So when this opening occurs for first time, there is kind of like this gap or an empty space in a way, let's say empty space, but it's just that your higher self is not reaching, or your soul is not reaching into those parts that where you just expanded. That's why it can feel overwhelming and can be kind of like overtaken from the energies outside you feel from the other people, but it's always the resonance is resonating with the same resonance. So it not can be in a literal way, but the feeling can it is resonating in your energy field with some energetic node, or how to say, that is holding some your belief or also your own hurt in some way. And when you are cleansing, going through those shifts that are occurring, astrology, when you are dealing with a certain things at a certain time according to the alignments, that is helping you to clear those parts of your energy field and your being to open, and then feel it naturally. It's when you really resolve the energetic block in your energy field, and open it, then it opens itself and it's automatically filled with more of your energy. So that's what is happening when you don't get that trigger again, the same trigger. So it was just that you expanded and started to feel those things. You expanded your consciousness. So yeah, it was challenging, of course, but it's something that you just chose to do and to feel, and you can then, when you expand this quickly and then resolve those problems within yourself and shine more of your light, that is helpful for others to feel and aim. So you were one of those first to deal with it, and now you can help the other people. You could help them more if you would like to share it in some way to make it your bigger work in your life, what you have worked, because those who expand earlier than others, they always are doing it for learning and then helping those who choose to expand later. So when, for example, this full disclosure would happen, those who are already equipped with some understanding and so on, and this deeper also on a personal level how the transformation works, there will be great help for those who really were not diving into this kind of topics. And then people will start to be more also interesting in how what the fuck is going on and how to do this and so that's why there is also important that people would go also more out, or be willing to, at least on a personal level, with the people around yourself, for example, that you would feel more secure to be really open and yourself, and to let others to see that you can help them somehow, and they will be then drawn to your calmness, and you can help them just by being yourself to balance their energies. It's similar as with Iveta, when you connect often, that you balance yourself, each other, I mean, just by sharing few words, and it helps her, and it also can help you. So that's the echo that it's creating there, that you can also help those other people.
Yeah, I've noticed that with interactions, and I think oftentimes people that we come into contact with, even though, like, say you walk into a room, you have a conversation with somebody, and there's 5 other people in there, just being in that room in that space could have affected one of those 5 other people in a way that you didn't see or pick up on, but it could have changed the trajectory of both of your lives just because that interaction was supposed to happen, of that proximity. I just think that so much happens. This is just me. I've always thought that in ways that we don't see,
Yes, yes,
just from in ways that we don't even pick up on.
yes, yes, for sure. But it's not necessary that it always can also change you or shift you. But yeah, in those subconscious and unconscious level, things can happen in ways. But when you are also not conscious about things, it's always best for you to trust that in those parts that you are not conscious, that it's something that your higher mind or will work out, and that it's also what is happening there is something what you really want it, and what you chose to, because you are bigger being than just what you are conscious of in your physical body and in this realm. And so also those what you would say unconscious or subconscious parts of you is still a you. So don't not creating the difference between those parts and those that you would call conscious in this reality. So it's all you, and also that other part of you is also choosing the best. Maybe in those actually parts when you are not conscious that much, those are those when you are choosing really what is your highest excitement. More difficulties are in that lower consciousness.
Yeah, no, I think the ones that happen unconsciously are like ones that are like, okay, this needed to happen. It was just an interaction that needed to happen, but it didn't need to have consciousness brought into the moment. I think there are other ones that happen where it's like overwhelmingly
Mm-hmm.
noticeable. And I think that happens. But another thing that I've noticed that I can actually, I guess that's maybe, like you said, opening up in consciousness or something, but I've noticed the actual vibe, feeling, conscious thought, with regard to projecting forth energy into something that, like, say, like you were feeling uncomfortable about something, but you knew you had to do it anyway. It's something you have to participate
Mm-hmm.
in, and I've noticed the feeling, or I don't know how to say it, the how if you really like communication with your guides, seeing the situation, like I can actually, it's almost like you can feel the whole thing setting up, being projected from you
Mm-hmm.
to set it
Mm-hmm.
up in a way. I don't know how else to describe that other than it's like something I can feel, see, think,
Yes, yes,
know.
I think I understand what you mean. Yes, it's that expanded consciousness that you are feeling also in and now, and also probabilities, like what this is about, and you consciously, there is yes, like when you are expanding that consciousness, you then are more conscious of really your choices that you chose to play certain role in a certain situation, that feeling that you know that you kind of like have to do it, and
Uh-huh.
you are doing it from really the unconditional love of your spirit, that you know that this lesson is needed for you and the other, that then when a mind, these are also beliefs you are resolving. So if that feels uncomfortable, that shows you your own reflection, that you have some belief that something is not completely correct about it. And that's why you are also giving that in that situation reflection to the other person, that there are also, I guess, will not feel that comfortable in that situation because of maybe the same or similar uh, belief that you have. So that's why you are co-creating. But when you are aware of it, it's just yes, a significant sign. It's a sign that you expanded, that you can
Right.
actually observe that where it's heading.
Yeah.
So this will, just continue.
Yeah.
So you will be observing more and more, but the more you will be kind of like a fine with what is going on, and seeing that the transformation is for a higher good and for your whole humanity. And most of the beliefs or resistances then that you have, or it's built on many strange concepts you have, and they are not really that bad or strange, that if you would relax all those beliefs, you all would feel much more freer. And that's why you are doing it and going in those directions, because you all would like to feel more free, and you are more conscious of it. And those other that need your help in this way are maybe less, but still all agreed on to getting more free, to let humanity be freer than it was before.
Yeah.
So, although they may resist, but they also wanted
Yeah.
it. This reminds me of, I'm not sure if this is Shayla or me, but yeah, I guess it's me or both. This sometimes reminds me of like, when people are very resisting and almost like going into feeling like how this bad experiences that you know for example when but those experiences are of course not very pleasant, and that's why you want to kind of like remove them from your experience, like those when someone would, for example, kill or rape and so on. When we would go into these extremes, like saying this to someone that you chose it, you
Oh,
wanted
yeah.
it. It's like the worst thing that you can say
Right.
to someone.
Right.
So, this is just what remind me, like what she was saying.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, it's not really that we would like to say this way. That's because when sharing it like in this way, like you chose it and so on, it's like disconnected from the compassion, and compassion
Right.
is very important in this
Right.
age. So saying it this way, it's almost like even denying the whole experience.
Right.
Really finding the compassion with how awful, for example, it feels. It's what is actually transforming, and you are allowing those feelings to be transformed when you feel into them.
Right.
This is a part of the channeling, like I have no idea what you asked last time, so I don't know if I answered or we were just chatting, This is interesting that I don't remember, kind of like, you know,
Just now, I didn't ask. Yeah, I was commenting
yeah.
about how
Yeah.
raises in consciousness have brought different things into my awareness about noticing the how you can project forth from yourself. I mean, there's an actual vibe to it. There's a, for me anyway, there's this feeling, there's this visual effect, there's this creation component to it. There's this whole interesting thing that I can, see, think, feel, know that I'm participating in by just putting that energy forth, like creating what a safe space to be in for that experience that I have to participate in, that maybe is seemed not positive, or it just feels uncomfortable, and that you can create this space if you choose to put energy into it, that is okay. I don't know.
Yes. So I understood the feeling that I was having. It was just a silent
Uh-huh.
moment that, like, I don't have anything to say, and the kind of like a conversation ended. Like,
Yeah.
what do you want to ask then? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it was that moment, like, so what's next, Crystal?
Oh, okay. um, I I don't know.
I'm seeing that we already talked for hours, so it's
Yeah,
quite a long time. So
yeah, it's good.
yeah, maybe so I would stop this for today,
Yeah,
and maybe we can continue some other time.